Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, well, welcome to the May 20th, 2021 Apple Valley School Board meeting. And I'm going to call the meeting to order at 5:33 p.m. And Kylie, can I get you to roll call, please?
Sure. Maria Okpara,
I'm present.
Rick Raleigh,
Here?
Wilson So,
Here.
Dennis Bender,
Here.
Adeline Blassingame.
Present.
All right, thank you. Everybody is present, so please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to move on to a moment of silence. At this time, we would like to pause in a moment of silence to remember the following retired Apple Valley Unified School District family member no longer with us. And that retired family member is Brenda Jackson. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving right along, we have any public comments for closed session, Kylie?
We have no public comments pertaining to closed session at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so with that, I'm going to read everything for closed session. We have 7 items. The first item will be discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment, transfer, certificated and classified employees. Number 2, public employee appointment, resignation, retirement, reduction. Number 3, conference with litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9, subsection A, current litigation, 5 cases, 18-13952, 1907-172, 20-11183, 202-956, 203366, and Government Code Section 54954, subsection 5, subsection C, 54956.9, subsection D and 2, and E1. Anticipated litigation, 2 cases, 2018-1907, 2020-2105. Item 4, conference with labor negotiator, agency negotiator Dustin Conrad, employee organization, Apple Valley Unified Teachers Association. Item 5, conference with labor negotiator, agency negotiator Dustin Conrad, employee organization, California School Employees Association. Item number 6, conference with labor negotiator, agency negotiator Trinae Nelson, employee organization unrepresented. And finally, item 7, superintendent evaluation. So with that, I'll ask for a motion to go into closed session.
I move that we go into closed session.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, Bender, second Blassingame. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. We'll be going into closed session at 5:37.
Oh, man.
Hi, Ron. How are you?
Okay, we're back from closed session at 6:31, so we'll call this second portion of the meeting to order at 6:32. And with that, we will move on to item 2 is reports from Granite Hills. Aaron, you're up. This will be the last time we see you, huh?
Yeah. 2 years.
We're going to miss you.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Nelson, and attendees. It is absolutely crazy to know that this is the last time I will be saying that. But when I think about it, everything about this past year has been crazy. But it's also been amazing. We started the school year in a completely virtual setting. And while our teachers and staff were well prepared for this, it was still something we had never experienced before. The first semester of distance learning was filled with virtual activities to stay engaged with our student body. We found new ways to interact with people, like having a virtual stay at homecoming and hosting Club Rush over Zoom. While both these events and all of our others were successful, it still felt odd. Of course, everyone on and off campus tried to make it as normal as possible, but we all know it was different. Even through these different times though, all of Granite continued to work hard and help each other wherever they could. It truly showed how united our school is. As we returned to school in the second semester, this unitedness continued to shine through. For the first time ever, we navigated through introducing freshmen to the campus in spring, having Friday night lights in April, and so much more. Our sense of community stayed strong, and everyone managed to find a place and routine, whether that be at school or virtually. Our return to school also gave us the return of many sports teams. Our teams performed well this year, with both our cross-country teams placing second in DSL, our football team finishing 2-2, both our tennis teams placing first in DSL, both our soccer teams winning DSL titles, our softball and baseball teams working towards playoffs, our track and field team winning their first league title in 10 years, and our basketball team fighting for third place in league. As the year is almost over, we have been looking towards and preparing for the future in every regard. We've held various events to introduce our new freshmen to the school, and we will have a formal dinner tomorrow and a graduation for our seniors on the 26th. Not only will we be celebrating this year's seniors, but we will also be celebrating our 2020 graduates on the 24th. We are so excited to celebrate our students and greatly appreciate the work done by Superintendent Nelson and the board to make this possible. These end of the year ceremonies also mean that it's almost time for me to introduce you to Granite's new governing council president. Before I do that though, I wanted to say thank you. Delivering these speeches for the last 2 years has been the highlight of my high school career, and I could not have asked for a better experience. I've formed meaningful relationships with everyone here, including Apple's president, went to AVUSD meetings, and overall learned more about our district than I ever thought possible. Thank you all for the opportunities you've given me and always taking the time to listen to me talk about Granite. With that being said, I cannot think of a more worthy person to take over as GC president. She is someone who is astoundingly dedicated to Granite Hills and promoting school spirit. I know that she will do an excellent job representing Granite, and I could not be more excited to see how she does. Her name is Ella Hausman, and I'd love for her to come introduce herself.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Nelson, and attendees. My name is Ella Hausman, and I will be the 2021-2022 president. I'm really looking forward to attending board meetings next year and giving you guys reports on Granite Hills High School.
Thank you.
With that, thank you all again for your time tonight and for the last 2 years. As my last words to you, always remember, maroon and gray lead the way.
Aaron, before you leave, Aaron, before you go, what's your plan? Where are you going? Oh, you got it covered for me. Okay. I wasn't going to let her off that easy.
I'm not letting her off that easy.
Yeah.
And Mr. Raleigh just gave me the perfect segue.
Can you turn me on the camera?
Yeah.
Oh, Ms. O'Carr wants to see you, so we're going to turn it.
Yes.
You got a strange voice.
So, Aaron, I feel like I'm losing a kid. Every board meeting, Erin has been here with a smile on her face, whether it was virtual or in person, and she is the first governing board council president that has served for 2 years, I think, in the history of Apple Valley Unified School District. We were so proud to have you as a junior and then as a senior because we knew there was going to be consistency. Erin has quite the history, and both of our presidents do. She is part of the National Honor Society, the president of Mock Trial, and Erin is an active member of the Principal's Student Cabinet. She's a recipient of the Principal's Student of the Year Award, and she is one of 5 valedictorians. That's worth cheering for, everybody. After high school, she will be attending the University of California at Riverside. I know the area well. I didn't go to school there, but I lived there for a while. And with a full ride scholarship. And wait for it. She's going to be a political science major with the ultimate goal of attending law school. I have no doubt that we will see great things from Erin in the future, and I'm so proud. Thank you so much. And I believe Ella is going to do a wonderful job as well.
One comment.
Absolutely.
My son did the same thing. He was valedictorian speaker for 2005. He graduated, and he's still talking. He's a director in charge of strategy for Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation today.
Good.
So you're going to go somewhere.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron. Good luck. Okay, we have Apple Valley High.
Yes.
Maisel, I'm sorry. We're going to miss you too.
Yeah.
Are you going to miss us? Okay, great.
Our future ASB line president has been in our Sun Devil ASB since his freshman year. He came to AVHS as the freshman class president, served as the sophomore class treasurer, continued as the junior class president, and finally will be the ASB line president. Since his freshman year, he never failed to impress me by his hard work and dedication. Whether it came to simple things such as moving tables, to complex events such as helping plan our annual color run. He was always someone I could rely on to do jobs others didn't want to do. I'm ecstatic that I was able to watch him grow over these last 3 years, and I'm so proud of the leader that he has become. It is my honor to introduce next year's ASB line president, Daniel Oriana.
Good evening. Is this on? Good evening. Is it on?
It is.
Good evening, esteemed board members. It is my honor to be here as next year's Apple Valley High School's school representative. I look forward to bringing Sun Devil news and updating you with our current events. This year has been nothing like we have ever seen before. It came with highs and lows, mostly lows, but we persevered through it all and we kept moving forward. We were able to host events such as the Nation Drives, a virtual talent show, numerous recitals, and weekly trivia nights hosted by our beloved principal. As the school year comes to a close, all of our efforts have gone to recognizing seniors for the hard work they've done during these past 4 years. Yesterday, we held our Senior Nights Award, and today we're recognizing our FFA students with their own award ceremony. We're very excited for our graduation this Tuesday to finally bring the 2020-2021 school year to an end. Thank you.
I would first like to thank our principal, Ms. Howell, for being so supportive to us students during this pandemic, and for all the time she has served as our principal. We are sad to see her leave, but are excited for the next chapters of AVHS. Next, I would like to thank our ASB advisor, Mr. Collins, for putting up with our crazy ASB class. I would also like to thank all of our Sun Devil teachers and staff for their perseverance through this very abnormal year. I would like to thank the board for being a constant support system that I always knew I could rely on. And finally, I would like to thank Superintendent Nelson. She has always made sure to greet me when I saw her and always checked up on me and Aaron, assuring that we could come to her for anything. Thank you, everyone, and I'm so happy that I was able to serve as your AVHS ASB 2021 line president. And remember, Sun Devil pride is contagious.
Boy, this is tough. I started with Aaron, and I remember sitting in the up at the dais one time and looking out and not knowing who her parents were. And I knew immediately because I watched this woman and I thought, holy Toledo, that woman has Aaron mannerisms. And I realized it was Aaron's mom. And so I have to say that these two have just carried us this last year through a pandemic. And they have been shining stars. Daniel, no pressure. I promise you'll be fine. But here's the deal. Not only do we have one valedictorian, but Maisel is a valedictorian at Apple Valley High School. As she mentioned, she's been in ASB all 4 years. She is an integral part of the Apple Valley High School sensations. Miss Okpara never missed a concert, and I know this because she'd always talk about it. And we'll be attending my alma mater, Cal State San Bernardino, in the fall. And yeah. But here's the other thing about Maisel that she probably doesn't know. For years, I've watched her in the choir at our church. And I've always just been amazed at her poise and ability to get up in front of an audience and just do her thing. And so I don't know if you knew that, but I so appreciate you and Aaron for all the work you've done. And I'm gonna miss you. You guys need to check in. Do you understand?
Okay, just going to pause for a few minutes and let you guys can leave. We'll excuse you so you don't have to stay, but good luck to you.
Yes.
And I can guarantee you're going to be very successful. And we're looking forward to the new representatives. We'll see you next time. So have a good night. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, so do we have, Kylie, do we have any reports from CSCA tonight?
Yes, Kim is present.
You're here, there she is. You're up.
Yep.
And after that, we'll have AVUSD.
Well, good evening. Up. Wilson says up. Is that better?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now? Is that better? Can you hear me, Mr. So?
Yes.
First, I would like to say to everyone, congratulations, kudos, and what a good job. All of you here, all of the kids, all of the administrators, we have survived an unprecedented year. It's amazing, and it's amazing that just as you had said, Trinae, the students are the shining stars here because they've shown us as adults, we can get through this. This is what we're going to do. And here's the adjustments we're going to make. This is not our permanent condition. It's just our condition on the way to something else. So I want to tell you all how much I appreciate you. You as board members have had to make a lot of decisions this year that weren't easy, definitely weren't comfortable, and certainly not predicted. Having said that, this week, we've been celebrating Classified School Employees Week. We're winding down at the end of that. We currently are winding up with our scavenger hunt. We've had a virtual scavenger hunt going on the last couple days where we're encouraging our members to become more familiar with the school district website and just different things at their own work sites. And so it's been hard. It's been a rough, like I said, a rough year, but the Classified School Employees Week has been a great way to end the school year. This evening, I hope that you had an opportunity or will have in the next closed session an opportunity to address our health and welfare agreement. I'm hoping to hear something about that. Any agreement that you see come before you represents hard work and a lot of thought and consideration and some roll up your sleeves problem solving. And I appreciate the people that we've been given to work with. Let me tell you, Matt Schillenberg and Dustin both were awesome in being able to help get this agreement put together and worded in a way that it said what we meant. In closing, I'm hoping we're going to be in negotiations again tomorrow for the last time for the school year. We won't be convening again until August. And I hope that our exchanges tomorrow will indicate a renewed dedication to the things that we've worked for over the last decade or so. So thank you. Have a good summer. See you next year.
Thank you.
Thank you. AVUSD, you're up.
Good evening, board members and district admin. I'm Terry Ray. I am the vice president of AVUSD, but I'm stepping down from that position to look forward to some other, moving up into the district, hopefully. So the end of this year is fast approaching. It has been a trying year and a half with the pandemic, but our members have not only made it through, but we have excelled. I've seen teachers make learning come alive in our Zoom meetings. Members have had little to no technology experience, has taken it with stride, and hit the ground running, learning how to do things in a very short amount of time. I have seen counselors struggle with all the social and emotional needs of our students and make it work because they need to do what is best for our students, which is why we got into this profession in the first place. We have always been a family at AVUSD, but this pandemic has only strengthened our bond and showed everyone that when we, the district, the members, and AVUSD work together, there is nothing we can't do. The district has really listened to the members and taken their feelings and worries into account before implementing any changes, which only makes us want to work harder. Lastly, I want to thank the district and the school board for all they have done this school year, and here's hoping to come back in the fall to a normal year. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving right along, we're going to
Closed session.
No session.
get Maria's. We have some readouts from closed session, and I have them in order, Kylie. Okay, I told you earlier, so I still have them in order.
I appreciate you
Okay,
doing that.
I know, you're very organized. So the very first item that we're going to read out, and it's a appointment for Adam Powell as principal at Granite Hills High School, range 16, column 1, on the management salary schedule. So with holding no further ado, on a motion by Wilson So, and a second by Blassingame, the board approved 5-0 to appoint you, Adam, to principal. And we're glad to have you. Thank you.
Please stand up so everyone
Stand up.
can see.
Adam is a homegrown Apple Valley. You've been here most of your life. Yep. Glad to have you. Thank you. And his parents are here supporting him as well. Good to see you guys again. Thank you.
Victor Valley.
That's right. That's right.
He went to Victor.
Okay, the second item that we're going to report on is B2, Public Employee Appointment, Resignation, Retirement, Reduction. And it's to appoint Pamela Garrett as principal, Desert Knolls Elementary School, range 7, column 1. Where's she?
She's back
Oh,
there.
there she is. I haven't read out if you got the job yet. So on a motion by Bender and a second by Okpara, the board voted 5-0 to appoint you Desert Knolls principal. So welcome aboard. She's another homegrown, graduated 2000 from, was it Apple?
Apple High.
Apple High. And now she's principal at Desert Knolls Elementary School. Welcome aboard. The third item, and this is to appoint Dennis Zimmerman as Director of Human Resources, range 13, column 5, to the Human Resources position. On a motion by Bender and a second by Raleigh, the board voted 4-1 to appoint you to the, where is he? He's here.
Back there.
There he is, stand up. To appoint you, welcome. Mr. Zimmerman's been in the business for a long time, 30 years in the teaching, and he comes over from Snowline School District. So welcome to Apple Valley.
Yes.
Thank you.
The best district in the high desert.
Okay, moving right along. So item B5 was conference with labor negotiators. So the board, on a motion by Okpara and a second by Blassingame, we approved the CSEA chapter memorandum of understanding regarding the PARS supplementary retirement plan. So on a vote of 5-0. In closed session, item B5 again, and this was approved, the Apple Valley Unified School District and CSEA Chapter 828, tentative agreement, Article 11, compensation regarding health and welfare dated April 21st, 2001. Motion by second by Okpara. On a 5-0 vote, motion passed. So those are the items that were closed session. You good? Okay. Put them in the box. So. Okay, moving right along. We need to make an adoption of the agenda. Board may approve the agenda as is or add or pull items from consent agenda for discussion or action. So do we have?
I move that we approve the agenda.
Okay. We have a motion by Okpara and a second by Bender. Is there any opposition to the motion? Okay, hearing none, that'll be the order. Okay, so basically, the next one up is D, recognition presentation by Matt Schulenberg on the Maintenance Operations Department of team members.
Thank you, Mr. Raleigh. I'm just
Thanks, Matt.
take over to the podium.
Okay.
You can take the mask off while you're reading.
Thank you, Kylie.
We're getting close to public comment, so if you guys are here to speak, just hang tight. We'll be there shortly.
I'd like to share this evening a little bit of information and recognize some of my team members that support the students and the staff here at Apple Valley. AVUSD participates in what's called the Riverside Schools Insurance Authority, one of several JPAs that provide property and liability coverage to school districts in Southern California. Regular property inspections are provided by this JPA as a service to school districts to assist in identifying possible hazards on and around school campuses. Representatives from our liability insurer, Southern California Relief, did conduct one of these inspections for Apple Valley Unified earlier this year and did identify some potential hazards for repair and remediation. Some of those items are, I don't know if you're familiar with the high desert and the temperature extremes. Asphalt seems to crack up here quite a bit, wherever you go. They did identify some excessive cracking on some of our campuses. We have some schools and some teachers that like to put paper on their windows, and they consider that a hazard, unfortunately, so we have to take care of that from time to time. Furniture that isn't in great condition, so they did identify some of the furniture items that needed to be remediated. Many of you have probably seen squirrels running around the high desert. Well, they dig holes. Unfortunately, they dig holes in fields, so we have to pay special attention, Crystal, to holes in fields. But I want to recognize the Apple Valley Unified Maintenance and Operations team because they responded to every item identified in this inspection, repaired and remediated all items listed for the follow-up inspection. In fact, Apple Valley Unified, because of the dedication of the maintenance and operations team, was one of only 5 districts in this JPA of over 30 districts that completed these tasks for their follow-up inspection. And I would like to introduce and have them stand where they are seated and be recognized. I'd like to introduce Jim Hopper, Director of Maintenance and Operations. Kirk Haug, our Maintenance Supervisor. And Colleen Bond, our custodial supervisor. Okay, well, they want to sit down, but I just want to thank them for leading their team members on this effort. And I want to thank them and all of the team members in the maintenance department and the custodial department who unfortunately couldn't be with us here tonight because of rules and distancing requirements. But I do want to let them know Apple Valley Unified, because of their efforts, was awarded the Excellence in Safety Award by SoCal Relief JPA, again, one of only 5 districts out of over 30 in that JPA, presented in recognition of correcting all priority hazards before the follow-up audit. So I want to thank Jim, Colleen, and Kirk for your efforts and publicly recognize them. So if you could join me again in honoring and thanking them and their team members.
You're here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Thanks for all the employees that showed up and the hard work you guys do. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Moving right along, we have Pat Schlossers can recognize CLI Biliteracy volunteers for 2021.
Thank you. This will be a brief presentation. The volunteers are not here because we weren't sure we could bring them, but I have a brief presentation and we'd like to recognize them and we'll get their certificates to them. This is for the Seal of Biliteracy effort that we do at the end of each year. This is a really special recognition that students can earn that shows that they are literate in 2 languages. And so the way that kind of works is first, of course, they must demonstrate proficiency in English. They do that by a variety of ways, whether their course grades or test scores, which we did not have this year. And of course, they have to demonstrate proficiency in a second language. They can do that also in a number of ways, an advanced placement test, coursework, and then of course, if it's via 4 years of coursework, there also has to be an interview. And for some languages, that's easy for us to conduct, and for other languages, we have to rely on our community volunteers. This year, these are the languages. We had many students in Spanish and French, and then some other languages, including Vietnamese and Mandarin, that were represented this year. This is 68 recipients so far and 9 pending their AP results, which is, for us, our highest year in maybe I could find ever. in the midst of a pandemic. And the way that happens is our volunteers. Volunteers, teachers working extra time, bilingual support staff, tirelessly interviewing, conducting Zoom sessions with these students and grading their work. And so we're really proud of this effort and what this represents for our community. And this is a designation that helps students when they move to college level, because often it will take care of their foreign language requirement at the university level. And so we want to thank Michelle Pham, who helped us in Vietnamese. She did not provide a picture, although we asked her to. And so we will make sure and recognize her and give her and vet her well when we see her again soon, and for her role in that work. And then this is Chow Ying Su, who also for our Chinese Mandarin speakers did a wonderful job of helping them to demonstrate proficiency. And so just a round of applause for those two community members who made this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Okay, we're going to move on to public comments. And I'd like to remind you guys, the Board of Trustees would again like to remind members of the community that you may remove your mask while making your public comment if you feel comfortable doing so. And with that, you're limited to 3 minutes per speaker. And the first one up is Brandon, is it Sorley? Brandon? Yes, you're first up, sir. Thank you.
I think I got it. That's good. Good evening. I'm just here to talk about mask mandates at the school. I didn't really prepare anything other than I printed out a few documentations on research and studies done. I feel that masks should be an individual choice for both students and teachers. Of course, teachers, they have to deal with the unions, so that's their thing. But I have two kids that are going to school, and I really think that they should have a choice on whether they wear a mask or not. So on these three items that I printed out, I have here one directly from the CDC website. On their discussion, which is their closing statement, they say that they showed there's no evidence that masks do anything. So I printed out 3 copies here. So if you guys want these, you can have them. The other thing I printed out was a compiled research done by a guy named Rancourt. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. All he did was compile all the studies done from 2009 all the way to 2020. And it shows that in all of these studies, masks, again, there's no evidence for a basis of masks. So again, you guys can have those. And then I printed out a third one here. This one is, it was done by a doctor that is the 17 harms that masks can do to people. You can go through these and everything, but the most important thing that I came across on page 3 in here, above the number 4 comment, there's a guy named Dr. Omar Clark, and he did a video. And on his video, he takes his own daughter to a doctor, another doctor, who hooks her up to an oxygen machine to see how the oxygen is affected in her body. It's very intriguing, so I would recommend for you guys to check that out. So,
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll send a copy to you.
Thank you, Brandon. Next up is Emmy. Emmy, is it Lise? Okay, you're up. After Emily would be Monica.
Hello, my name is Emmy Lease. I'm a resident in Apple Valley, and my son goes to school in Apple Valley. And again, I'm just here to talk about the masks. I don't have anything prepared, but just to say, we hope that the 2021-2022 school year can have masks be an option for the kids, for the very same reasons he pointed out. And so I just hope that maybe it gets to the point to where the board can vote on that being an option. I know that we have to follow county guidelines and everything, and I have also made public comments to the county supervisors meeting. So hopefully we can all get to that point, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Monica King. After Monica will be, I believe it's Marquez or Marcuz Solis.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Monica, and I just want to start by saying how grateful I am for all of you. During these times, I can't imagine the difficult decisions this past year has brought. Our schools have done their best with the information that is flip-flopped. You've received conflicting guidelines. I really commend you. I want to talk today specifically on masks. I strongly feel they need to be a choice by parents. This has gone on way too long, and my children will not return to public school next year if this doesn't end now. I know you feel you don't have the power to make a change, but you are all very smart people that can think for themselves. These parents' tax dollars fund these schools, and it is not okay to sit back and let this continue on. It is time now to stand up and give families their choice to decide what is best for their own children's health. The CDC, ODH, Dr. Fauci have proven their inconsistent guidelines over and over again and have proven to be not credible at this point. They are not in charge of our freedoms, our rights, and our liberties. These masks on these children and allowing them to carry this burden of this pandemic has affected them long enough, and I'm done with it. I've heard things like children are resilient, but are they? At what cost? This is a cop-out to justify our lack of willingness to advocate for them. Mental health is the easiest thing to ignore. I've spent so long on research on this and have highlighted some points worth sharing that prove masks do more harm than good. According to CDC, 266 ages 0 to 17 have died from COVID-19. This is tragic. During the 2018-2019 flu season, 477 kids in that age range died of the regular flu. Also in 2019, we lost 2,485 kids under 18 to traffic accidents, 766 to drowning, and an alarming 2,156 to suicide that has gone up. We have not banned swimming or cars. We live in a world full of risks. So what do we know at this point? It is rare for children to spread COVID-19 to adults. Asymptomatic spread is not common. Spread in schools is not common. Kids have a 99.997% chance of survival rate after coming in contact with COVID-19. So what about safety of staff? At this point, they need to take the initiative for themselves. They have the choice now to be vaccinated if they so choose. They can double mask, wear a shield, but my children's health mentally, physically, and emotionally will not be sacrificed for the comfort of staff members. All of my children and all the children, all they want are their basic human rights back. Take off the dang masks. Give a smile and a hug. Let our kids breathe fresh air. Let them smile at one another and let them be free and let them be children. I won't comply with this unlawful coercion. There needs to be liability. So who is liable for the psychosocial, physiological effects on our children? Please make masks a choice and do it now. It is not ethical to continue this path when there is no scientific justification for our children to be wearing these masks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you. Is it Mara Cruz? Okay. And after, next will be Rochelle.
Thank you for allowing me to speak here today. Never done this in my life, so excuse me if I get emotional or nervous or anything like that. Hello, my name is Mary Cruz Solis, and I have been an Apple Valley resident for 15 years. My kids have attended AVUSD schools their whole school life. We love living here and are grateful for the amazing teachers and staff throughout their lives so far. I'm here to speak out against the use of face coverings. I do not agree with them and believe they may be harmful. The only reason why I allowed my kids to return to school is because they desperately wanted to see their friends and be with their friends. I also felt it would bring some kind of normalcy back into their lives. Although masks were a requirement, I felt the benefits outweighed the risks. It was only 2 days a week for a few hours. So I felt fine, and I thought it was okay. I'll allow it. And anything more than that, no, I will not. I have taught my kids that masks are nothing more than a facade and that government overreach is a real thing. I want to raise free thinkers and people who use common sense. I have also taught them in the beginning how to properly wear a mask under their nose so they can breathe the fresh air that God created. And now I don't wear them at all, and I don't put any on my kids. I don't regret my decision, and my kids are better for it. By the CDC's own admissions, an organization you all have been following guidelines for, say that children have little to no chance of contracting COVID or giving it to others. So before you imposed all these guides on our kids, did you ask yourselves, what are the long-term effects on wearing a mask? Is oxygen level being affected? What are the physiological effects? Well, I don't know if you did or what your thought process was, but a big red flag for me was when the CD flipped the script from you don't need to wear a mask to they are mandated now. Dr. Fauci in the beginning said that there's no reason for anybody to be wearing a mask, and it just makes people feel better for a little bit. And it might even block some droplets, but it doesn't provide the perfect protection that people think that it is. That is also the man who has just been tied to funding a lab in Wuhan, China, for doing gain-of-function research. So if that doesn't raise any eyebrows to you, I don't know what will. Also, U.S. Surgeon General Dr. Jerome Adams says that surgical masks do not protect you from respiratory viruses. It has leaks all around. It is designed as a barrier protection for people in the OR, hence the name surgical mask. The N95 mask must be fit tested for it to
Ma'am,
be.
you're over your time.
Okay.
Do you have a few more comments you'd like to make real quick, or?
I can't hear you.
Your time is up?
Uh-huh.
You, give you a few more
Just
to.
wrap it up.
Sure, thank you.
Basically, I feel the same as all the other people that have spoken before me. Face masks should not be required. They haven't been proven to work. If they had, then, you know, what was all this? Why did all this end up happening? Yeah, I just feel like the CDC is getting it wrong. They've been getting it wrong this whole time, and we need to step up and stand up for our kids.
Thank you for your comments. Rochelle Arias? Sure, go ahead.
She had FFA awards for, had to go to an FFA award for her child.
That's it.
Back once more. I'm speaking for Rochelle tonight, Rochelle Arias. She just has a quick update. Says, hi, I'm Rochelle. I'm sure you all remember me from last meeting. I'm not Rochelle. I just wanted to give you an update on our fight towards making masks optional for our students. I've been in contact with Superintendent Nelson and also Supervisor Paul Cook's office and a contact at the County Department of Health. We are all working toward a common goal, and I am confident that we have a great team together with all the parents here today and at home. I was able to attend an Unmask the Kids rally this week, and it turned out great. Throughout the summer, we will be continuing our fight, and I will be updating you all at the future meetings. Thank you.
Okay, that does it for public comments. Kylie, is there any more cards? Anybody coming late?
There are
No?
not.
And I want to say we appreciate the parents coming in here and speaking. It takes a lot just to spend some time in the middle of the evening coming here and getting up at the podium and speaking on this topic. It is a very contentious topic. There's a lot of interest in it. And we're very hopeful that when school starts in the fall, that this won't be the issue anymore. But
Well, I can say, speaking for myself, I agree 100% with you.
Yeah.
Like dressing your kid up for Halloween every damn morning.
so, but again, thank you for your comments, and we appreciate it.
Greg, if I may, I think for the parents that spoke, I spoke last board meeting. I'm also not in agreement with wearing masks because I have two daughters that are doctors, okay? And I might even see I don't wear it. It just we have to follow the county and state guidelines. That's a problem with it being a school district. So we got a conflict over there, but we want to make, and I, as a board member, I fully understand the constraints on the kids. For example, I watch TV about I mentioned last board meeting that the young lady don't get enough oxygen when she was running with a mask, she fell down. Okay, so these are concerns that we have, but we have to follow the safety guidelines imposed by the county health and the county superintendent of schools, as well as state Department of Education. So, but we're going to work with the state and the county and say, one, can we get rid of this requirement on masks?
Well, may I say something?
Sure.
Unfortunately, as a board, we really do not have a say-so in regards to this. However, the superintendent has made contact with all of the elected officials, and all of your comments will be forwarded to them so that they know that you are really serious about this mask mandate. So if I can employ you to just sit tight, with you pushing and the superintendent pushing, we are going to hopefully have a response for you in the near future.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again. Moving along, we have superintendent comments from Renee.
In response to all of the comments, I first want to point out that what Ms. Okpara said is accurate. I contacted Supervisor Colonel Cook's office, and I feel like we are extremely fortunate tonight to have Kimberly Messon in the audience. Kimberly, if you just let everybody know who you are a field representative for Supervisor Cook's office. Yeah, sorry, you are not a field supervisor. I didn't demote you, I promise. So, but Kimberly, I reached out to her and invited her, and she was more than happy to show up here tonight, willing to take that information back, because as the Board of Supervisors, part of their role is the work with the San Bernardino County Department of Public Health. And so any of the comments that are provided tonight will be provided to all levels. They'll be provided to Supervisor Cook's office, Assemblyperson Thurston Smith, Representative Jay Olbernalty, and Senator Scott Wilkes. And I don't want you to believe that the board can take a vote to change what has happened. We are a public entity that is governed by the rules that are set by the state. I'm going to read you the email that I sent to each of those groups yesterday. That is, I had already talked to Kimberly, so the others I felt needed the same information, because this is not something even San Bernardino County supervisors can necessarily change. It has to continue up the chain for a couple reasons. So I'm reaching out to all of our state and local officials to communicate a concern the families we serve in the Apple Valley Unified School District have expressed. At our last board meeting, a parent came to advocate for students to be able to attend school mask-free in the fall. I understand the local concern and the fact that the data is limited. However, the conflicting messages from the CDC, our state and local governments, governmental entities does not allow school districts to appropriately answer the concerns. We are often told it is a local decision. However, we all know if a local decision is made that is contrary to guidance, we are risking our liability of stewardship of public funds. Tomorrow night, we will hold our regularly scheduled board meeting at 5:30 p.m., which was for tonight, and I have been given a heads up that parents are planning to attend and comment publicly again. I am unsure if this means one parent or 15. but I want to reach out and encourage each of our elected officials to recognize this is an issue and help us to have a united, consistent message to our local community. And then I signed it with my information. And then I will tell you that I also was on the phone with the Department of Public Health, different issue, but asked to talk about mask guidance and any change in direction that is occurring. And so I was immediately sent an email that conveyed the current status. So I want you to have that as parents to understand that there is some other things going on. On May 17th, the California Department of Public Health, CDPH, so that's the one over the San Bernardino County Department of Public Health, released the most recent statistics on COVID-19 update and mask guidance. So I'm reading you from them. This is not my words. California will keep its existing guidance around masks in place until June 15th, when California aims to fully reopen the economy. As of May 3rd, 2021, face coverings are no longer required outdoors except at crowded events and for unvaccinated people, when physical distancing cannot be maintained. In indoor settings outside of one's home, including public transportation and schools, face coverings continue to be required regardless of vaccination status. After June 15th, California plans to implement the CDC's guidelines around masking to allow fully vaccinated Californians to go without a mask in most indoor settings. This 4-week period will give Californians time to prepare for this change while we continue our relentless focus on delivering vaccines, particularly in underserved communities. We urge all Californians to get out and get vaccinated to ensure that infection and hospitalization rates remain low across the state and that we can all return to activities we love. Those are not Trinae words. Those are from the Department of Public Health. But I want to let you guys know that on top of that, my question followed up with, there is no requirement for students to be vaccinated. So I want to make sure that that information is shared with you, and the fact that there was a rumor that we were holding vaccine discussions as town hall meetings, none of that has happened. Nor has the rules changed that we can require staff nor students to be vaccinated. Nor can we vaccinate your children without you giving permission to do so. So all of those are rumors. My biggest recommendation is if you hear something, please contact one of us. We are here to answer your questions, and we are here to set the record straight. As for masking, I asked what that meant for our students that cannot be vaccinated, because right now the 12 and above is available for vaccination. That's a parent choice. However, they are currently in trials for younger children. So I asked what that meant. What's the timeline? Because there are families that might take that as an option. I'm not saying that that's the option. I'm just saying from a choice perspective. And they are in trials and do not anticipate children under age 12 having the ability to be vaccinated until the earliest in November. So that means opening school based on this statement would include masks. That's the assumption I am making, but that does not mean it will come to fruition, because this is a fluid situation. The Department of Public Health was very clear that it can change at any minute. And we've seen that. We've seen that with the changes. But having Kimberly here means that Supervisor Cook's office will have the information and be able to take it back, and I will continue to send those things, those directions. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Trinae. Board member comments. Adeline, you have anything? If they would like to.
First of all, congratulations to all the departments for their wonderful work. We can't do it without you. So the other thing is, I'd like to say I was, again, impressed by the performances that I watched last week, and really entertained. Super job. I have to take my hat off to those teachers that are in charge of that program, because if you haven't seen those kids perform, you need to, because they are absolutely outstanding. And in this time and age where they're going to school from their homes, to put on a show that they put on was absolutely incredible. And I looked forward to all of you, seeing you all next year. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Wilson?
I just want to extend our congratulations to the staff, new members that's going to join us. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. Dennis?
I'd like to compliment all you that got promoted tonight. Hope you enjoy your new charge, and especially the maintenance and operations. You guys are the ball bearings of the school. In World War II, that's what we killed. We bombed it. Ball bearings and the oil. And I'd like to compliment our secretary of the school board and your secretary. She ran that American Hero at Vanguard, and she's the equivalent of a Marine drill instructor. She did a great job.
I'm glad you called it American Hero instead of American Idol, because we're still not allowed to report on that.
Sorry. Barking at the cops and everybody.
Good job, Kylie. Maria, all the way from
Texas.
Texas.
I have to take this time to thank all the parents who came out this evening to speak on behalf of their children. This is what we are really looking forward to. We want parents to be involved and to ask all the key questions and to expect response. And I'm hoping that the response you received from the superintendent today gave you a reason to actually pause and know that we are looking at your children. Secondly, I would like to congratulate the two presidents of the two high schools who served their schools faithfully even during the pandemic. I'd like to also congratulate the staff of the maintenance and operations for keeping our schools open and our buildings functional. Thank you, Matt Schellenberg, for leading that group. And again, I'll see you all on Monday when I come back on Sunday. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to welcome my new grandchild.
Thank you, Maria. I'd just like to mention that we're going to have in-person graduations beginning on May 24th for all of the high schools. And I believe it'll probably be on our website as the dates and times where these are at, beginning on Monday, May 24th at the Newton Bass Stadium. So it's good. You know, the kids last year, they missed out on this, but this year we're actually going to be able to pull it off. So it's a good thing. So hope to see us all there. With that, we don't. Excuse me?
Great for good weather.
Yeah. Well, it's always windy, so. We have no public hearings at this time and no special meetings, so we'll move on to item I, discussion session. It is recommended the Board of Trustees discuss and take action on the following items. Approve the certificated, I always have a little problem saying that, and classified personnel actions as listed. So would you have a motion?
I approve.
We have a motion.
Second.
Motion Bender, second Blassingame. Is there any opposition to the motion? So that'll be the order, 5-0. Approve requested leave as noted. Do we have a motion?
I move.
Maria?
Second.
By, do we have a second?
Wilson.
Wilson. Okay. Is there any opposition to the motion? That'll be the order, 5-0. Approve AVUSD Article 19 compensation as follows. We have a motion.
I move that you approve that.
Second.
Do we have any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, that'll be the order. Approve the Extended Learning Opportunities ELO Grant Plan.
I move.
Wait a minute, before you make a motion.
We have to have a presentation on that.
Yeah, you have a presentation.
We do, thank you.
Yeah.
I read that.
Let me
And that'll
cue
be
this up.
from
Oh, okay.
Pat? Pat? Okay.
That's me. Thank you. I'm just going to put up a couple of slides real quick to go through that.
Yeah.
ELO, the Extended Expanded Learning Opportunity Grant proposal, so we can give you full information. As you read through in the document, there's some plan components that are required They're listed here. You saw them. I just wanted to make sure you understood the process by which we went about gathering information and putting this plan together. And so quickly, the funding amounts for this plan are in two basic categories. There's the $8.4 million general allocation. That's an estimate. And then there is a $940,000 paraprofessional set aside that is an additional component for either extra duty, more time, positions for paraprofessionals, for a total, again, estimate of over $9 million. The requirements are that they are spent between now and the end of August of next year, 2022, and we have to report the actuals by December 1st of 22. And we must coordinate those with some of the federal COVID relief funds, the ESSER funds, the most recent round of funding. We must offer supplemental instruction and support to students, foster youth, homeless students, low income, English learners, and others that we designate as in need of service. So our outreach to parents for this will come in three main phases. It's already begun for the summer program that will begin here on June 7th. Then, of course, there'll be a whole host of school site offerings that you'll see in a moment. And then, of course, the summer of 22 will be the kind of third phase of the plan. Our plan development actually began in earnest with our LCAP District Advisory Committee. We were able to get the information from the state just in time for our last District Advisory Committee meeting. We put a thought exchange into the field and got excellent feedback from parents and committee members. We did talk to an employee association about this and got some input on the learning components and their preferences there, and had a chance to have an outreach with our District English Language Advisory Committee, who asked outstanding questions about these funds. This is the general wordle of the comments we got back from parents and staff members about what to do if we were to put together learning and supplemental. They wanted to make sure that it was enriching and yet fun. I was so glad to see that, because this was totally in keeping with the way our District Advisory Committee also was building our LCAP, meaning they were attentive to what some of the very same comments we heard tonight from the podium, and that is the need for social emotional support for these students, but also to do that in a manner in which help them reestablish a sense of just love of learning. So with that in mind, our plan has 10 main elements. Like I mentioned, expansive summer programs. Our summer offerings this year, we have almost 900 students registered for 5 summer school offerings at the K-8 level. And both comprehensive high schools will be having enlarged summer programs when compared to years prior, with all kinds of creative activities included. These feel like camp. We're talking about a week that's themed, kind of a beach theme, rainbows, science fun. We expect lots of messes to clean up, but we've heard how awesome the maintenance and operations department is, so they can handle it. And we're just so excited to bring back those elements to summer and learning. And so that's just wonderful. Starting in the fall, we'll be able to supplement our reading intervention plan. This plan does allow for supplements during the school day. So we'll be doing that at the K-8 level. In addition, at the high school, we will be adding some extra certificated staff, so that the 2 new high school principals in the room are excited to know that they'll have some flexibility to make sure and offer those 9th grade students who need more intervention and feedback the opportunity to do that. And then extensive before and after school programs for credit recovery, for the kinds of things that we know that teachers have passion about but haven't been able to do because they haven't had the ability to have the students stay with them, have the materials, and have the time. And so we're excited to have the kinds of things. We had a teacher the other day say, I want to teach a class about World War II, and really offer that kind of excitement and enrichment, and we'll be able to do those kinds of things. We will be bringing field trips back. Lots of schools have told us they haven't been able to fundraise, but now they don't have to worry about that part. As soon as things open back up, we'll be able to send students and have experiences out in the larger world. We will continue to work on outdoor wireless access points for students to use common areas to get internet connection if they need it. And we're actually working on an LTE network across Apple Valley, so that we will have an Apple Valley system for our students and staff to access wireless network all our own. And the last couple of things, we'll be also augmenting our professional development to make sure that social emotional learning and those skills presented in a coordinated and careful manner to really continue the work we've been doing, but with a focus that comes from the demonstrated need and the demands of our families. And again, we'll finish with the summer of 2022 informed by what we learned this summer, and we'll buy the kinds of things we need for all those programs to occur. So that's a real quick outline of the plan. These are the general categories. We have great flexibility to move these dollars as the need arises. But as you saw, we must report the actual expenditures to the state. And so I wanted to go through that quickly for you and then answer any questions you might have.
Well, I just have a comment.
Yes, Maria, go ahead.
You know, I will ask a question anyway. I'm just glad that this ELO addresses mental health. We have kept our kids indoors for a whole year. So it's very important that we take the time to reach out to them and know exactly how they're feeling. Let's dig deep into their feelings. I think what schools have done systematically is to go straight into testing. The children need to get back and get used to school again before we start testing again. So I'm glad that this ELO is capturing the essence of why we go to school. Why do we go to school really? Is it so that we can pass a test, or is it so that we can understand what life lies ahead? So thank you so much for bringing this up to us, and we'll be paying attention to how that fund is spent.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions of staff? Okay, Pat, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, with that, do we have a motion to approve the ELO grant?
So moved.
Oh, just a second.
We have a motion by Blassingame, second by Maria?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any opposition to the motion?
No.
That'll be the order. Okay, moving on to J, consent. We have 20 items, 1 through 20. If there's no items to be pulled, we have a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve.
Second.
A motion by Maria, second by Blassingame. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, that will be the order. We have no staff reports that need any action taken. Kyla, we have any more public comments?
We do not.
Any more?
Do we not have anything on the police department reports?
It's a staff report, Ms. Okpara.
Okay, so we don't have anything there?
It's just no action on it.
No
It's just a
action.
review.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Any more comments, Trinae? You have any other comment?
Yeah, I just want to follow up on the graduation. We do have the class of 2020 graduation occurring before the class of 2021 graduation. We will host an unusual event. Our kids that want to walk across the stage from both Granite Hills High School and Apple Valley High School will do that in a united fashion. We are going to celebrate them as they want to be celebrated, which is across the stage in person. We are excited to offer that to them on Monday, May 24th. It's been nothing but a feat of a lot of people agreeing to do what I thought was right for these kids, and I stand back and let them make it happen. So I just appreciate the entire staff on both campuses, the cabinet, Zoe, our PIO, and so many people behind the scenes that are going to make this happen, and people stepping up to show up another night to support the right thing for these kids. And then we move on to Tuesday morning with High Desert Premier Academy. High Desert Premier Academy will graduate both the class of 2020 and 2021 because of the size. They have the highest number of graduates this year, and we're excited to celebrate that. On Tuesday evening, we will graduate Apple Valley High School, the 2021 graduation, and then Granite will complete our tour of the stadium on Wednesday, the 26th. This is a different event this year. We are following all the guidelines. We had to move the stage to the end zone, kind of the end zone, and to use both sides of the stadium in order to accommodate assigned seating and spacing so that our families could, each student could have 4 tickets. That presents a problem because in the past, people have bartered and exchanged tickets, but because they're assigned, they won't necessarily, it wouldn't be appropriate for them to go sit with another family to deal with it. So we're hopeful that this gets us closer to a normal event a year from now, but for now, we're excited about this. Ms. Asboth, or I apologize, Ms. Calvin, I cannot either. It's been a pandemic. That's what I'm going to blame it on. Ms. Calvin indicated that it was classified employee week. As you all know, we took resolutions to the board a couple months ago to deal with both certificated and classified appreciation. It was great to identify some classified managers tonight and their work, but we did an ice cream social in a different fashion as a drive-through yesterday with ice cream sandwiches, and we had fun with it. And we appreciate that staff drove through and grabbed an ice cream sandwich. And other than that, I just appreciate everybody and the school year that we've had. And we're going to keep going and be stronger for what we've gone through. Thank you.
Thank you, Trinae. Any other comments from board members? Adeline?
No.
Wilson?
I don't have any.
Dennis?
No.
Maria?
Yes, I do. For those graduating students, there is a great graduation higher learning option that is out there from Victor Valley College. I'm hoping that they will all tap into that to see if they could go to college for free at Victor Valley College if the other options are not available to them.
Okay, thank you, Maria. I have nothing further. We have no further go back into closed session. So we'll go on to closing items. Any future agenda items that any board members want to bring forward? No? Okay. With that, I'll call for an adjournment at 7. Oh, wait a minute. Our next meeting will be Thursday, June 3rd at 1 p.m. in the multipurpose room. So there you go.
Second.
7:40. We're any opposed to the adjourning? That'd be the order. Thank you. Thank you for showing up tonight. Good. Thank you, guys.